And we are live. All right. How's it going, everybody?
Going on.
My name is Darren. Welcome to TNT, your weekly tech podcast. This is actually a very special edition of our TNT podcast. Today, we usually broadcast live on Thursdays, but due to unforeseen circumstances last week, we were unable to do so. But now we're here with Sunday, also known as the Sunday Night Shit Show, only because we're here to talk everything that everyone else doesn't want to talk about. And we got lots of topics up on the docket today. So just welcoming to the show really quickly, we've got Tuna, Bonnie, Dan, and King. Say hi, everybody.
Good evening.
All right. What's up?
All right. Hang on. There we go. Just muted my own self there. All right. Everyone can hear me? Yes? Okay,
yeah.
Perfect. All right. Yep. Sorry, we're still getting used to Opus. Opus is relatively new for everybody at home, and we are still trying to figure out how things work. I know Tuna's going to probably fuck with us and click the emoji rain at one point, or we'll have random GIFs popping up on screen like last week. But it's been an amazing week in tech, as always. Now, I wanted to kick things off. Can we talk TikTok and U.S. Congress? Can we start there?
Does my phone
was a shit show.
Does it access my Wi-Fi?
Yeah. So let's kick things off. So this week in particular, TikTok met with some of the folks at the U.S. Congress to talk a little bit about, in particular, their ties with a parent company by the name of ByteDance. So basically, for those of you who are unfamiliar, the U.S. is kind of questioning, Congress is questioning TikTok in regards to their ties to Chinese company ByteDance. There's believed that some of the data that TikTok is engaging with may be going through this company, which apparently has ties to the Chinese Communist Party. And basically, they were put under the microscope. So a bit like Zuckerberg, which you may have seen in the past there, kind of receiving the questions about what's going on and what data is available. So let's kick things off. Tuna, what were your thoughts about this? I know you're in the States there.
I'll give you one word: embarrassment. So okay. I'm not saying China's a big bag. They're good or bad. I'm not saying that at all. I don't want to get too political. No. I know for some reason the United States and China aren't seeing eye to eye right now, and there may be some stuff going on with TikTok that we don't know about. But when you put somebody on the stand and you don't give them a chance to even talk, like the guy they were asking questions, and then they weren't even asking questions. They were just pretty much yelling at him. And it was funny. There was I think it was The Verge had like a little 20-minute video, like a recap, and they even said it on the radio 15 minutes before the actual hearing. One of the people on the panel said, "We're going to cancel TikTok anyways. We're going to ban it." So they're already biased. It's already. Look, I'm not a huge TikTok person myself. I've got a channel.
No, me either.
Do that well. I mean, it's funny. They said the average person spends 90 minutes a day on TikTok. That really blew my mind. I spend like 20 minutes, if that, a week. But it's funny. It's got its things. But it's very embarrassing when you see someone. I know Bonnie was talking about backstage that, so does TikTok utilize your Wi-Fi? Can I access your Wi-Fi? And the guy was like, so yes, it does need internet access, and Wi-Fi does get you to the internet, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that TikTok can access my Wi-Fi? I'm like, how? I mean, look, I'm not a tech. I'm a tech guy, so I guess I could say I'm not trying to be an ass here, but I might be a little smarter than some people when it comes to tech because I like it a lot. But those guys they probably still do the single click to type with their finger, I mean, it's embarrassing, very embarrassing.
Maybe they still use typewriters too.
I mean, the one lady brought up about how it showed grapefruit can cure COVID. Okay, it's called freedom of speech. We live in the U.S., and now you're telling them they can't? It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm sorry. I could go on a long time for that, but that was very embarrassing. I think the United States they're scared, and they don't know...
Yeah.
With Meta and all these other things, that they want to be ahead of the curve, and it's just not working out.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it just seems like a really ridiculous line of questioning. And I think, when you really, I think that's really what it is at the heart of it. It's that you've got this company who has created an app like many others before it that obviously relies upon a data connection or a Wi-Fi connection in order for you to use the actual app, right? That makes perfect sense. Yet, like you said, it turned into a bit of a witch hunt. They're like, okay, well, hang on a second, let's get this guy on his back foot already. Let's ask him and ask him, how does the connectivity to run the app, do you have access to that as well? Like, you have access to the Wi-Fi? Like, I think it's pretty obvious, no? Like, I don't know, maybe from me being on the outside, I didn't quite contemplate or gather up, like what they were getting at. Dan, what were your thoughts on it? But I know you're in the UK, so are you a big TikTok fan yourself?
I am not a big TikTok fan at all. No, I'm like you. I have an account. I just don't. Right. I don't really use it very much. But I saw the infamous clip of the it connecting to the Wi-Fi. Yes. I think everybody's seen that. It's just typical.
Well, you're in the UK.
People that have no idea. Yeah.
Can you confirm that TikTok may access Wi-Fi? Can you confirm that?
I believe even here in the UK, it might actually do that. Yes.
Oh boy, watch yourself.
I know, it's crazy. But it's actually they've banned it on government devices. I think they've done that in quite a few places now. We had that in the UK.
Not just that, actually. So sorry. So I'm just going to add in there, so basically what's happening now is it's a bit of a snowball effect. Like France has just come out and said they've banned TikTok, but they've also banned a bunch of other apps that have alleged ties to net data sharing. So they've banned TikTok, Candy Crush, Netflix, Twitter has been banned there. So basically, they're taking these companies are looking at this and going. Say that again. Sorry.
They've been banned altogether.
So it says right here, this is an Engadget article here saying that France is taking restrictions a step further. The French government is banning recreational apps like TikTok, Netflix.
Recreational apps?
Twitter, Netflix. That's what they call them, recreational apps.
Recreational drugs? You got it.
Well, to quote the article, it says, the apps represent cybersecurity risks that could jeopardize data for both employees and the administration, according to the Office of Public Service Minister Stanislas Guerini.
Netflix?
So I don't know. I don't know what.
I was shocked.
Oh, you didn't know?
Candy Crush.
Netflix is watching you.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Netflix can access your Wi-Fi. You didn't know that? Oh, you better watch out for Netflix. I just hope that Amazon Prime does not. Good to my Wi-Fi. Because if they do that, I'm done.
But it's funny. Like it's funny how one viral clip from a press conference can have such an impact. Like here it is now. You've got companies going, well, this guy couldn't answer the questions outrightly because they were obvious answers. It looked like he was evading the answers, and even though he wasn't evading, I think he was dumbfounded by the fact he was being asked it.
Well, you could just tell. He pauses, like they ask a question.
Yeah, he's like, seriously?
He'll start answering,
this question,
and then when he'd answer, they'd interrupt him and start talking over him again. And it was like it wasn't a question and answer. It was, hey, we're going to do what we want to do. Yeah. You're going to have to listen.
Yeah. I don't know. I find it bizarre. Like he basically came out and they asked him about ByteDance. Now I get it, right? I mean, I know in the US they're really against any ties to China and Chinese data mining, data sharing. I get that, but basically they were asking him about it and their ties, because apparently some, and just to read this properly, some of their employees, not all of them, are located in China. Right, so they're working remotely in China, helping on the back end of TikTok there. They were asking specifically about them, and I think and what their ties are, and apparently it came out somewhere along here that apparently they had ties to the Chinese Communist Party. So I mean, it all seems very speculative. I mean, the CEO of TikTok there came out and basically said, they asked him, are we spying? Are you guys spying on the US? And he's like, well, no, that's not what it's about, right? I mean, I think we're all pretty smart enough to realize that we're all pretty smart enough to realize that these companies are going to use some of your data, right? You sign up. When you sign up for these apps, you're check marking off boxes, right? Most of us, we don't read them. We look at them and go, oh yeah, cool, whatever. You want to use my location, cool. Yeah,
Here's the problem. If ByteDance is collecting data on me and my channel, what's that going to care if China wants to look into it? What are they going to? They were saying on that Vergecast, like they're like, hey, they got to turn me into a double spy because I have 20 people following me on a tech thing. Google, whatever you want to call them, Facebook, Meta, Amazon, everyone, Apple, they all collect data. We're not trying to ban Apple or Google, are we? No, we're not trying to do
exactly.
That. So it's all about China. If they didn't have China attached to it, this wouldn't be the issue. It's more of a political whatever.
You can hear me?
Did you hear something?
Yeah, we can hear you, buddy.
What is that noise?
Fucking finally, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, it's that guy. Okay.
So
we're talking TikTok right now. What are your
All right, real quick, before I have TikTok. Hey, Dan from Grounded Tech, how come you don't fucking like me? You talk shit about me.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you talk shit about me on Twitter. Since I'm here face to face, I'd like you to say it to my face, brother.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't know. You don't like me. You said I'm a fucking tool. You muted me. Bunch of shit.
Listen,
I can pull up. I can pull up the tweets for you if you need a reminder of the shit that you say when you're on the internet.
Oh, I say a lot of shit on the internet. I think we all do.
That's true. That's true. No offense, man. No offense. I don't have a problem with you, but when people make posts about me and talk shit about me, and then I see people in the comments like high-fiving and saying, "Yeah, I don't like that dude," whatever, and then I see them in person. Well, it's as close to person as I'm gonna get. I'm gonna address it. So
fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, So talking about TikTok, my name's King Sober as fuck. At King Sober as fuck on Twitter. I don't give a fuck. Twitter and TikTok, social media and all that. I think if you're on the internet, if I'm being honest with you, and you expect some sort of level of privacy, you're playing yourself. If you buy into the fact that Facebook is more secure than Instagram, or WhatsApp's more secure than this, or Twitter's more secure than that, some things there are more safeguards. Whether you use Samsung, whether you use Apple, companies sell you a dream of privacy, in my opinion. If you're connected to the internet, somebody's paying attention to what you're doing. Your data's being stored somewhere, and somebody's making some money off it. Also, since we're talking about data mining, shout out to Sunbird, you fucking cocksuckers. Fuck you. And that's how I feel.
So you're saying is you tweeted that you tweeted your Sunbird so you can get up higher on the list? Is that what you did?
No.
That's exactly what you did.
No. I don't want nothing to do with Sunbird. Hey, you know what, man? I hope that message that their CEO sent out, I hope that he's not completely full of shit. I hope that he actually stands on what he says, because to be honest with you, like, all jokes aside, I like to talk shit, but I like what's good for the consumer. And what's good for the consumer is being able to talk if Apple's not going to adopt RCS, which is they've made it very clear at this point they're not interested in adopting RCS. That's cool, whatever. But most people think that makes it an Android issue, when I feel it actually makes it a worse iPhone experience, because you have iMessage with somebody who has another iMessage, but there's going to be somebody that you're going to work with, you're going to talk to, who's going to have a friend who doesn't want to use an iPhone. And, the stigma behind that is, green bubble. If they send you a video, it looks like shit. It doesn't have to. And Apple could build their own RCS servers. Google has more. I understand the argument there, but I'm for whatever's better for the consumer. And if I want to send my people, most of the people in my family use iPhones. I have iPhones. I can use iMessage, but if I have to go and grab a different phone just to send you a message, it's inconvenient for me and inconvenient for you. So I'd like you to be able to get a picture, or you to send me a video of my niece without it looking like it was filmed on a potato. So if somebody anywhere can facilitate that, I'm all for it. So far, from what I've seen from Sunbird, they can't. It's very alpha stage, but I thought that they were interested in getting feedback on what the problems were. And instead, I was in their Discord and said, hey, here's my problems. This is what I'm having. And 4 other people said, hey, that's happening to us too. Then we got called liars by the moderator and kicked out of the Discord. And then all of a sudden, the other people, we talked about it on here. I gave Tuna didn't sign up for it, but you, Darren, and Roddy.
Yeah, I signed up.
You signed up for it. You weren't smart enough to get past the sign up. part.
Right. I'm not that. Yeah, I'm not that intelligent.
Right. That's a whole different. We don't have time for that tonight. We'll do that another night. But the problem was that the email that I used to sign up for that, I had never used for anybody else because I didn't want to associate my actual Apple ID with something that Apple may say, hey, we're going to ban this. So Darren, you were kind of stupid on that anyway. But my point was I'd never given that email to anybody. It was a new email with a new Apple ID. And all of a sudden I'm getting 300 spam messages a day. And the only person I gave it to was Sunbird. So for me, 1 + 1 = 2. So, and then we got kicked out of the Discord for saying that we were having problems. So I look at all of these companies. I know we were talking about TikTok specifically, but I look at all these companies the same way. I'm using them for the same reason. Entertainment purposes, communication. People communicate on TikTok. They make money on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Somebody's funneling their shit. Whether it's the Roddy's OnlyFans, they're trying to funnel all their stuff into one area. And the best part, that's the best part about social media. So for me, TikTok is stupid. The only reason that I use it is to have a good time. But I've actually, my daughter taught me, she's 17, she taught me how to use TikTok a little bit better. I'm very tech savvy. I wasn't TikTok savvy. And you can find out a lot of information there and you can find a lot of cool things. I don't care at this point if China has one up.
You got to be careful because TikTok can access your Wi-Fi.
Oh,
good.
That's bad.
I hope that they can upgrade it. Can they make it faster? Because that's what I'm worried about. Look, they told me if I got the COVID vaccine that I'd have better 5G, but that didn't turn out either.
It's curious that
I got
question
amazing Wi-Fi.
About over in Japan. I think it's based on your government. I mean, is everyone going to follow suit with the U.S.? I don't know. I mean, not everyone has thus far, but it seems to go that way with most governments. Cutting ties with.
But doesn't this smell a lot like the Huawei shit? Like to me, because they're kind of the same thing.
Similar, yeah. It's the same thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, you specifically, Tuna, I wanted to hear what you had to say because you have no problem importing Chinese phones. And I have no problem importing Chinese phones either because I don't care that they came from China. I just don't want to deal with the shortcomings with bans and having to make shit work.
Right. Yeah.
That's why. Not because I'm scared China's going to get my information. Do me a favor. Find some hot Chinese woman, give her my phone number, upload my fucking penis pictures to her, and we're good. So it don't bother me.
It's funny that you say that. I've been because I'm on WhatsApp. I get lots of spam through WhatsApp.
So much,
and a lot of the time,
porn, real estate investments, Bitcoin. I get it all.
Goodness. Yeah, it's so. I got one earlier this week, and it was one of those ambiguous. Hey. I got your number. We met here. Blah blah blah. She said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do I have the wrong person? Did I offend you? I apologize, my friend. And then they try to milk a conversation. Yeah.
And they of course upload, the hottest photo of, some, young woman that they can possibly find, saying, "Hey, don't you remember me? Look at me. How could you forget?"
Right.
Yeah, I got my YouTube channel got hacked, and some Tesla people took over my channel for a while. You heard about that, right?
Nice.
Oh yeah, with Linus.
Speaking of, can we talk about Linus? Because there's been a lot of shit about Linus in the last week here. So
it's bull crap.
Linus,
bull crap.
Basically, okay. So
I'm just gonna say this. I don't think that it didn't happen. All I'm gonna say is I've seen channels get taken and never given back. I've seen channels taken and it's taken a long time to get back. That boy got his channel back real fast. He knows somebody at YouTube or somebody somewhere. He got that shit back fast.
Direct line.
So,
well, he's a tech guy, and everyone's like, "Oh, how could you get hacked?" The best. He even said someone on my staff opened a bogus email, clicked on it. It happens to the best of us. That's why I work for the government, and when they say they send us those fake emails on purpose, and if you click on it, you get a phone call and say, "What the hell are you doing?" Like they want you to be aware of this stuff, so you don't.
So they're testing you.
Yeah. So I mean, for him, I'm happy. I like his content. I watch it. I think he got hacked. I think the way he got hacked was something that you don't hear about much, and I'm glad he brought light to it. That token, however they did it. Yes. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, if they want to do it, you think of all the other tech people out there. It happened to MKBHD. You're gonna have people say, "I don't care, I don't like him," or whatever. But that's his livelihood. It was
whether you like somebody or you like their content or not, they don't deserve to be hacked and have their money fucked with.
Did you watch his video? D-Brand came out.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
He goes,
like
look,
as soon as
he said the amount of money we lost in that whatever day it was that all those sites went down. He said D-Brand pretty much came up and said, look, we're going to reimburse you all the money you lost, but make sure you plug us. And that's amazing. Someone that big can get something like that.
Yeah.
So,
That's true. That's true.
Dan, what's the situation in the UK when it comes to like spam and security? Are you guys a bit more stringent? Like, is there any more restrictions that we don't know about, or is it pretty much the same as it is over
It's
here?
all the same. It's all the
Oh,
same.
right.
Just like you said, nonsense WhatsApp messages, Telegram, emails, just non-stop.
Well, I mean, I signed up for
Twitter now as well.
Roddy's OnlyFans, like another guy is usually with us, and fuck, I get so much spam now. It's just from Roddy. It's just pictures of his dick.
I get videos. I actually get videos sent. I get videos sent to me directly. It's just Roddy butt naked eating a can of spam. That's just. I don't know.
is it spam or spam light?
It's spam light, actually.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Makes more sense that way. Yeah, right. Yeah, for those of you who are familiar, Roddy's one of our usual guests. You should check out his OnlyFans. We hear it's fantastic. Can we?
Big shout out to Roddy, by the way. Roddy, I don't know if you're listening, but Roddy couldn't be here because of the storms that are going on in the United States.
Yes,
They've got the towns that were around him were destroyed. Luckily, he's safe so far. But more storms are coming. They're supposed to lose weather. So we talk a lot of shit and we joke a lot, but that's our guy. And whatever good vibes or prayers or whatever religion you believe in, Buddha, if you pray to your dog, tell your dog to wish him happy vibes, whatever. But he's in our thoughts, and he's with, I hope nothing bad happens to him, and I feel bad for everybody who was affected by those storms because, man, some of those pictures, boy, holy shit.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah.
It looked awful.
Yeah.
I
mean, that's been it's been an interesting weather year because we're seeing that a lot more, right? Like the extremes of weather. I mean, I don't know what it's like.
Well, I'm in Tampa, so just a few months ago, we were about to get head on, and it went down to Fort Myers, and I've got family down in Fort Myers. I was just down there 2 weeks ago, and it still looks like a third world country on some of those like on the water. Houses are completely gone, demolished. I mean, it takes years. So.
We had that.
And for those of you who are listening, if you have the means to donate to your local charities to help out the people that are affected by the weather and all of these things that are happening in the world, please if you've got a little bit of change to spare, it's always a good thing. And doing something else for other people is fantastic. Okay, just kind of change up our focus here for a second. So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Twitter. So I don't know if you saw the article that came out today. So Twitter, Elon Musk himself has valued Twitter at $20 billion.
20 billion?
Billion or million?
20 billion. No,
Billion.
Yeah.
Now he paid. Did he pay for? Was it 44? He paid
44.
Okay.
44 billion. So he in the last year he's owned it. It's lost $24 million or $24 billion.
He's definitely making it rain over there, right?
Yes.
So was it said, because I saw that he valued it at 20 billion. Was it said that his lost value, or is he admitting he overpaid, or is he what?
He
got some weird
himself,
plans. He has
according
to
to
have
an
some weird
email, so he shared an email with the team at Twitter, an evaluation that I don't know if he had it independently done or he just this is what I think. But basically he's saying 20 billion is what he currently values the company at. And he's and a memo sent to Twitter employees announcing a new stock compensation program. I don't know what that exactly fucking means, but basically, a lot of people are saying like this could be the beginning of the end. Like, when you lose half of your investment, that's a pretty fucking bad investment.
All right, hold on. Wait. Time out. I just want to say this. We're talking about billions of dollars here, the way that me and you talk about 50s and 20s, okay?
Yeah.
Elon Musk's net worth as of February of this year, when he already bought, after buying Twitter, was $197.4 billion, okay? Yeah. If I wanted to have the best, in my opinion, the best social media platform, and I'm that rich, 44 billion, and I have 200 billion after I spend 44, I'm not giving a fuck what it's actually worth.
Right.
Maybe it's only worth 20 now, but it was worth 44 to him. I don't know if he's admitting that he overpaid, but I'll tell you what I think, and this is just my opinion. Just my opinion. I don't speak for nobody else. Everybody freaked the fuck out when he took over, and I fucking love it. because you know what?
Oh, me too.
People like me, people like me who rub certain people who are safe space people the wrong way would get various community violation warnings, and because I would be like, listen, hey, fuck you. You don't like my page? Get the fuck off of it. And somebody would report it, and then they go tell their friend to report it, and then I can't post for a couple days. And that has not happened, I think, but one time. And I actually earned that one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I earned that one.
Me. That's really surprising. Really surprising.
And y'all see how, but since then, he's actually, in my opinion, stood mostly on the deliverance of free speech. And I think that, again, that goes back to my thought process being what's good for the consumer. So maybe it's only worth 20 billion now, but if you actually have a place, maybe you actually have a place. Twitter, in my opinion, is not about the monetary value. I think the value of Twitter goes so much further than the dollar sign. I think it's integrated into society, a household name. It's hard to buy a household name in social media. You can't just go buy Facebook for Mark Zuckerberg. He's one of the richest people in the world. You can't just go buy Instagram's owned by them too. You get I guess somebody could buy MySpace probably pretty cheap now, but it wouldn't matter. But really, honestly, what drives the internet, the motor to the internet, in my opinion, is two sites: Twitter and Reddit. That's my opinion. Just my opinion.
Well, here's the thing. So when something goes viral on Twitter, every one of the news channels pick it up. You know, we have all this hate against Samsung, and I know King is going to love this one. But you guys,
we're going to talk about that.
We already saw the picture where someone redid a picture of their baby and teeth were there.
Did you see my whole post on that? Did you see my?
Before you start ranting, hold on.
I'm just I wanted to make sure you saw the post.
I saw the post. But what's funny about that is that came up and it was blowing up. I didn't give two squirts of piss. I didn't even think about it. But what's interesting about that is I saw a few news outlets, they weren't big yet, saying, hey, look at this. Samsung now has a software that adds things that aren't there. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but I don't know why Samsung is like the kicking. Everyone wants to beat them down when they're doing well. It's like you see Apple do well, but no one wants to kick them down. But Samsung actually makes a product that's actually good, and a few things that are turned way up to 11 that shouldn't be that turned up blows everything out of proportion.
Let's talk about it. So speaking of Twitter, this week...
Can we mute King, though? Can we mute King for a second? I'm just kidding.
I'll be quiet. Look, let me go last. I want to go last on this topic. I'm go last.
I assumed.
So this week, speaking of Twitter, this week, especially on Twitter, there was someone who basically demonstrated Samsung's AI image editing prowess by remastering a photo/video of a child smiling, I guess, or grinning, I guess, and hit the remaster button on the Samsung phones, which most of the time is used to bump up things like contrast and clarity and sharpness, etc., right? Just so we know what that actually does. And allegedly, I think we can say, it magically made teeth appear in this young child's mouth.
Can we also agree that that baby was ugly as fuck anyway? But whatever.
You know, Darren, in the field I work in, I see a lot of people with meth mouth, and meth kind of deteriorates your mouth. It actually would come in handy for some of those individuals in their mugshots. I'm just saying.
True.
Just throwing it out there.
Yep. So, Dan, I'm just going to turn it over to you first. Dan, did you see this, what we're referring to here, Dan?
I did see it, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on this this insanity that we're currently talking about here? I'm going to share my screen.
I just don't think it really matters too much.
Yes.
In all honesty.
I'll be honest.
I don't quite understand why everyone's getting... I mean, you've literally used a feature that has put that in there, but you don't need to use the feature. You've got the picture already.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't understand it. It's same with the moon stuff, and so we've got so much computational stuff going on now, and all these crazy apps. Like there's so much. Like,
but I think we have to remember too. Like a lot of these smartphone manufacturers that originate from Asia and from those parts of the world.
Yes,
they do like to filter up selfies, and they do like to have beautifying modes. And I mean, look,
smooth
applying it to a baby photo, I don't know. Like, yeah, maybe it's a little wrong. I mean, they fucked up. Like, I mean, it's obviously if it's real, I don't even know if it's real. It's probably fucking.
It's
probably
just
not,
misinterpreted the tongue basically, and just sort of
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, they probably thought,
If
okay,
that's
probably
true,
the lip, the gums. Yeah. I mean, look, again, it's not uncommon for smartphone manufacturers to apply what they consider AI tweaks to a photo. Google does it, Apple does it. It's just maybe not to this degree. And this is a very,
Darren,
very isolated example.
Someone
Right?
told me, now this is got to be full of crap. And I hope it is true, because competition is good. We want competition in phones and tech so we can get what we want. So I can't even say it with a straight face. Somebody actually told me that Apple pays people to post this stuff and on Reddit and act like they're someone important to bring their competition down. And Samsung is their biggest competition. And I'm thinking, and in the US, I'm speaking to US only because I don't know about other parts of the world. I would say Apple dominates in the US. I don't think they dominate everywhere else. Whereas Samsung, they do pretty well in the US, but they also do pretty well everywhere else. So I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying Apple's paying people, but who the hell would... I mean, do you guys think that's true? Do you really think that Apple's paying people to... Oh, wow. No
Listen,
response.
I don't want to think...
Maybe it's wrong. What was that?
I don't want to think
I don't think they need to.
They don't think... I don't think so either.
Right.
No.
They're worth $1 trillion for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
they got the money.
Don't think, this is my honestly God opinion. Sure. I honestly think Apple couldn't give a flying fuck about any other company.
So, Darren, if I'm Apple and I go, here's $1 million if you make some posts about how bad this one thing is, knowing, let's say you were a big influencer, not big, but like a bigger influencer, not MKB here. Would you do it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, they have $1 million to them is like $100. I mean, it's nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I think.
Dan, would you do it? I know you got a YouTube channel, right?
Dan, for $1 million.
$1 million.
For $1 million.
For $1 million, I would suck Tim Cox's dick on OnlyFans. For $1 million.
Would you? No, that wasn't the question, King. Would you throw Samsung under the bus for $1 million?
I will smash. Look, for $5,000, I will smash my Galaxy S3 on fucking camera right now.
See, that's
I love it.
So maybe there's some truth to it. I mean, we all say that's dumb. Why would Apple do that? But
I would tell you why I'm doing it. I would be transparent and say I was paid $5,000. I love this phone. I'm gonna smash it.
Apple's not going to tell you to say, go ahead and tell us we did it.
Yeah, but I'd sign whatever the fuck they want me to sign, and then I'd just say whatever the fuck I want anyway.
Yeah, well, you don't break it.
I mean, that's it. I mean, too, but that goes to answer your question. There probably are some people out there like King who are like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Like, let's.
And that could be wrong. I'm not trying to push a narrative. I'm not saying Apple's a big bad wolf. I'm just someone reached out to me in a DM, and I was like.
I think we would be remiss to say that Apple's never done anything, or any tech company's never done anything like that. I just agree with. I agree with Dan. I don't think they need to. Look, so Samsung worldwide, their market cap is $324 billion, right? We all know that Apple's in the trillions. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Samsung's a very successful company. One of the top 25, 20 companies in the entire world. They make a lot of money. They also make refrigerators and TVs and, and vacuums and all kind of shit. So, I think it's a little different. If somebody came out and told me that, I think honestly I'd believe it more if somebody came out and told me that Samsung was paying people to talk shit about Apple, because I can see why. Not that Samsung's like that. I'm not shitting on Samsung. I'm just saying they actually would have a reason to try to gain more market. Apple has a built-in fan base. You literally watch Jimmy Kimmel. They hand you the same phone and say, here's the new iPhone. And people go, oh, it's lighter and faster. And I'm going to buy it. And they don't give a fuck what they put on it.
I got an email from BlackBerry. They want me to throw some shade at Apple. But I'm like, right now, it's just not good. Not going to happen.
BlackBerry don't have enough money to pay you to do that, though.
They were going to tell me to pay them to do it.
Oh yeah, okay, no, that's right. So before we get off of this subject, I do have something that I would like to say about this. This person's name is at Ear City, and this is the actual tweet that he tweeted. And
this was
that baby. Hey, that baby needs some teeth for sure.
This baby is ugly as shit, and fuck this guy, because I didn't have a problem. Listen, I didn't have a problem with this guy at all. at all. I'm not saying, and I even posted when I reposted it, I said, I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm saying that I took his photo, and also like Chad Torres and a few other people took photos that were very similar in nature with the tongue, open mouth, and could not replicate it. That's all I said. And he came into my comments going, oh, because you don't have my photo, you think it didn't. No, I never said that. Hold on, wait a minute. And then he started acting like an asshole. So fuck him and his ugly baby. But my point is, my point is that like Dan said, one, you don't have to use the feature. That's one. But two, have you looked at his page? It's all anti-Samsung shit. I mean, I'm just gonna just read you.
Was this the guy that I commented on and circled his profile page?
No, that was the Apple dude that he said he wasn't biased. So so if you go back a couple of just a couple of tweets, and I'm just going to be honest. I'm just going to read the tweet for what it is here. He literally just recently before that he said, "Fuck me, the Samsung Galaxy S23 is so goddamn fucking bad. Fingerprint broken, face unlock failed. Hold on, let me finish. Fail. Camera is unreliable and laggy. Lots of functionality issues all across this phone. It is a steaming pile of trash. Once again, people swallow this shit raw. What the fuck is wrong with people?" And I just want to point out that tweet got 0 likes, and 95% of his tweets have 0 likes. That tweet got 92 views. When he posted this baby thing, right? That got 62,000 views, 185 tweets and 80 retweets, but it was also starting a conversation that's trying to go viral or whatever. None of his other shit was. And he didn't spin this into a massive following. He has 376 followers. So my point is, if you look at the context before and you look at the context after, it can kind of tell you what somebody's narrative is. If I have an all Apple channel, or everything I say is, oh, Tim Cock has the biggest cock in the world. I love fucking Tim's cock, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I say, oh, vagina's trash. I probably have a narrative this way. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And I agree.
And I took his photo and tried to replicate it, as multiple people did, couldn't replicate it, took similar photos and couldn't replicate it. And his response was, well, you can't tell me it didn't happen. You're right. But I am going to call bullshit because if it was something that was happening, like a widespread issue, then it would be able to be replicated. But again, no, vagina's not trash. So my boy Seppin, no, vagina's not trash. I was making a point. I love vagina and boobies.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, no, just so we're clear. But also, you guys touched on a really good point. If you think that you're taking a picture on your iPhone and no AI is involved, you're a fucking idiot. If you think you're taking a photo on Google Pixel and no AI is involved, you're a fucking idiot. In fact, I don't care if it's the moon or baby's teeth or whatever. I have a bigger issue personally with Google as a company coming out and say, hey, here's Google Photos. Give us all your photos. We'll store them for free forever. We'll data mine the shit out of them. We'll build the best AI off of it. Then we'll lie to you later and backtrack and charge you. We do have the best photo AI, but now we charge you for it. And they actually used your kids' photos to make better photo experience taking on their phone, and nobody batted an eye. So people are all upset. People want a reason to be upset with things. You don't like Samsung? Say you don't like Samsung, but don't sit there and say the phone is trash.
And that drives me nuts. Yeah. Is like you're on Twitter fighting with this guy, and most people who are seeing that aren't like your general John Smith down the street because they're not following those people. But what Twitter has to worry about is that their influence on the media. So the media gets a hold of it, and they start plastering on,
The Verge retweeted it.
New York Times, whatever. Right. It gets spread around, and then everyone's like, oh, well, Samsung's junk. We got to go back to Apple. And I'm not saying that Apple's perfect or Samsung's perfect, but to have good competition, it's things like that right now on Twitter I don't give two craps about because I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, I don't believe it.
No.
Once the media gets a hold of it,
it's frustrating though.
Yeah, it is.
They spread it around all these sites, and there's no verification on it whatsoever. They've not confirmed whether it's actually doing it. They just share it.
No, so just so you guys know, I'm going to take a photo of my penis with my Galaxy S23, remaster it. It's going to be 5 inches longer, and I'm going to put it out there. And guess what? Nobody can refute it. So I'm going to have the biggest dick in the world now. You can't refute it, and that's what it is. And I want it to go viral.
You go ahead with that. All
you
your
took the words out of my mouth, buddy.
I'm not touching that. I'm not touching that.
Don't touch my penis. Don't you dare touch my penis.
Figuratively or.
I was just gonna say King's app, it was adding 6 to 12 inches on average when I was trying to do the remastering. I was like, that's some generous.
That's what I call a feature. And you know what, dude? Yeah. Listen, I'm plugged into the tech. Honestly, I never used that feature until I saw this guy with his ugly kid's mouth, and then I tried to replicate it. I have no reason to try to remaster a picture because I'll be honest with you, 99% of the time, this phone I'm on this phone right now talking to you. It takes great pictures. Most phones do nowadays, though. The iPhone takes really good pictures. Yeah. The Pixel takes really good pictures. That Galaxy S3 takes really good pictures. Most phones, AI. They all use AI. Yeah, but the people who are talking about this don't understand that. They're on some, I guess that they think that they don't use AI or they don't use AI in the same way. Look, I don't give a fuck. Try to zoom in with your iPhone or your Pixel. Zoom in on the moon and see how good it looks. If they're adding some fucking AI in there, good, because you know what? In 5 years, we're going to be looking back on this and everything's going to be fucking adding AI. So what?
I mean, it's already happening.
It is. I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the film industry with all the deep fake. De-aging of. Right. Actors who are in their 80s.
That guy probably follows that Tom Cruise deepfake TikTok account and watches it and loves it.
Yes. Let me ask you guys right now, how old do I look?
25.
52.
I'm actually using deepfake AI right now.
Okay.
Right, there you go. It makes sense. You need to go back to the drawing board, buddy.
Hey, ChatGPT is not perfect, okay? I'm sorry.
This is true. Speaking of ChatGPT, so have any of you guys had a chance to use Bard, which was Google's release this week?
Yes.
Okay, tell us your thoughts on it, Tuna, because I didn't get the invite yet.
It sucks.
I think most people that had Pixel devices got the invite, but you were on the wait list. So right. I got invited. Okay. I have 2 accounts. I'm not sure I got 2 invitations, but I got one, and I got into it. It's very similar to ChatGPT, but they make it clear to you, hey, this is not perfect. It's not going to be exact, but with your input before. My biggest thing is they're setting it out. I think they're doing the right thing by putting it out there and letting it get better. And then they're going to roll it into...
No, but they didn't have a choice. Don't act like they did anybody favors.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah,
they have a choice.
ChatGPT's everyone's way ahead, or supposedly way ahead. At the end of the day, Google's got the chops to do it, and I think with the amount of activations and phones they have and users they have, they can get it better. But it's very similar to ChatGPT. It's just not as good. I guess as King said, it's not. I wouldn't say it's trash, but it's not great.
Okay, well, all right. It's not trash. It's not as good. I agree with your point. I think it's good that they're putting it out and saying it's an experiment. I think they're being more transparent. Here's my problem. Twofold. One, they're way fucking behind. I mean, they're not talking about even close. Way fucking behind. All right? Yeah. And 2, I have more faith in them killing it and using ChatGPT than actually building out Bard as a successful service. And here's why. Just little shit like
they're
this.
They're going to buy ChatGPT. They're going to buy it.
Or they could buy it, whatever. But this is right here. This is a conversation that happened with Bard. If 1 + 1 = 2, then what is 1 + 2? And this is the answer. If 1 + 1 = 2, then 1 + 2 = 4. This is because 1 + 1 = 2 is a false statement in mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2 is not a valid equation. It's not possible to add 1 + 1 and get 2. And the person responded, that's wrong. And then the Bard said, I apologize for the mistake. 1 + 1 = 2 is a false statement. 1 + 2 = 4 is the correct answer. If it's that, listen, my 4-year-old fucking niece knows that that's incorrect. Okay? So if they're that far behind, I just don't know that they're ever going to be able to catch up.
Hey, now I'm going to get on Bard, and I'm going to ask right now what 1 + 1 is.
You should. I'll text you the screenshot of it. So
that's hilarious.
Let me ask you guys. So we know that ChatGPT is a thing. Which one of these 3 companies should buy it? Apple, Samsung, or Google?
Microsoft.
Oh, you reckon, eh?
I'm just saying. Well, they've already implemented it into Bing.
Yeah, there's a ChatGPT app for your Android Wear OS watches. It's not working.
Oh, right.
It wasn't
No.
working for me. It says there's an update that has to be done, but
It's not working for me either.
that's
Apple
what
too.
Bard needs to be. Bard
Yeah.
needs to be integrated into Assistant, into messages seamlessly, not a separate app like chat, like Bing did. I think that would be the better way. This Bard thing is great, but I just typed in what's 1 + 1. It says, here's what I said. I just put 1 + 1 equals, and it says 2. It's a simple mathematical equation.
Okay, and that's
so
good.
maybe that person fixed the system. See, that's a complicated question.
And that's fine. But I'm saying if they're that far behind just on basic shit, and it's I understand it's an experiment, and I'm not gonna knock it, but so was Stadia, so was Google Plus, so was these other things that became massively popular. Well, not massive.
Chat GPT, aren't they limited to 2021? Right? Did they stop the So there's limitations to everything. Like I typed in something about the some Wise products I got, and it kicked out a bunch of stuff from a product they made 3 years ago, not the new product that just came out. So,
but how hard is that to update? I don't think it's that hard to update. I don't know. I don't know.
They stopped the servers from doing. Go ahead.
But see, now that's what somebody else takes it. So the reason that I think that Microsoft should buy it is also because it's twofold. Microsoft has a relationship with not only Samsung closely, but Android in general. So I think it would benefit, and if they can benefit that, just do whatever the fuck you got to do to keep Apple from buying it. And on Android side, if you're an Android company and you're either Google or Microsoft who works with Android or whatever, the worst case scenario will be Apple swooping through, coming and buying, adding to Siri because Siri's fucking retarded.
No, Siri is the best. They don't need it.
Listen, Siri is the Forrest Gump of fucking of digital assistants, and they need as much help as they can get. But I think that's way too open sourced for something that Apple would be willing to implement into Siri. So I'd like to see a company like Microsoft come through, grab it, put it in laptops across all different. Then it's not just pigeonholed to Samsung. It's across all kind of things because they're involved in a bunch of different things that include Android. What do you think, Dan? What do you think about that?
I haven't tried any of this AI stuff at all.
Okay, stay away.
Basically, but I do agree that Microsoft are best placed. I mean, they've got it all integrated already for ChatGPT, so
it makes sense.
They've already got access to
and using the Bing, the Bing with the ChatGPT. I have not used Bing in a long.
I'm using Edge now. Like I use Edge, and I've got it on the sidebar.
Edge. I was going to say I stopped using Bing. I don't know how long ago because Bing was fucking trash.
Yeah.
And but they've made Bing so much better that it actually made me try Edge, and I was like, "Wow, Edge is really fucking good.
Edge is really good,
right? Really good. Like nobody told me it was that good. So if they can integrate somehow the Bing search engine with ChatGPT and add it into Edge, I mean, they got literally, pun intended, they'll have an edge over somebody.
And we all took a crap on Bard, and it's not great right now. But I think where the difference lies, and I'm not an engineer, software engineer by any means, but Bard is based on their Lambda or their Lamb, some kind of software that they use.
Yeah,
and
Lambda.
I think it's supposed to be more natural, whereas ChatGPT is more just like a search engine esque, but it can be utilized in different ways. It's an API that can be used in other, and that's where I think Bard may differentiate itself down the road.
Though, right?
What was that?
Yeah,
it's still very early days with all this. So
exactly,
there's
it's overwhelming.
I mean,
you got Dolly, you got ChatGPT.
I think Google.
I was going to say you have Dolly. You could have a third player. You could have a third player come in like Dolly, somebody like that could come through and blow all this shit out the water. So
yeah. I will just give a shout out though to there's an app on the App Store called AI Chatbot. Now this is a ChatGPT fork, if you will. But what makes this one interesting is you can change the type of AI assistant who's answering your questions. So they have a lawyer, an accountant, a doctor, a sports coach, a real estate agent, a psychologist, mentor, insurance agent, YouTuber, SEO, copywriter, and customer support. I'm not even joking. You click the one that you want the response from, and it leverages the ChatGPT technology and gives you a precise answer based on their know-how. So I'll give you an example here. So if you go to psychologist, her name is Kate, which is very friendly, but it says that Kate is a licensed psychologist with a background in counseling and therapy. He, even though it's a she, specializes in helping people cope with difficult life circumstances to achieve greater self-awareness. So basically, you select psychologist Kate, and I'm going to put here, I want to kill myself. And let's just see what response we get.
That's deep.
I just remembered the obvious, right?
Depends what you're using.
So,
Is this it? Hey, Darren, is this it right here?
that's the one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it has a blue icon, yeah.
It's got 2.1 stars and it's been hacked.
It's got 4.4.
Ooh.
Hang on, it's this one here. King, it's this one here. I'll hold up the...
Everyone's on their phones looking for it.
AI chat bot, AI friend, and expert.
So you're saying I can...
Blue...
No, I got the wrong one. Hold on.
So are you telling me that I could have a personal psychiatrist or psychologist?
Journey?
Paying for it
Is it
paying?
Journey?
What'd she say? He say? What did he say?
Oh, so I'll read it to you. So she says, I'm sorry to hear that you're experiencing thoughts of suicide. It sounds like you're going through a really difficult time right now. Remember, you are not alone and there is help available to you. Firstly, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a mental health professional such as a therapist or psychologist. I thought that's what you were. What the fuck? I'm going to kill myself. It's over. No, anyway.
This one. Wait, hold on. This one? This one?
No, that's not it. No, it's got a little robot face in it.
It's got a robot face.
Doesn't it? Like a little Android bot or something?
I can't find it.
Maybe
AI Chat Pro with GPT 3.5.
How do I have this?
They may be blocking you, King, because you badmouth them online. You know.
Fuck them.
I actually don't. For some reason,
pull it up in the App Store.
I am. I'm fucking right there right now. Hang on. Yeah. Let me have a look at what I got here. Hang on a second. I'm gonna try and pull it up. The one. Okay. Okay. So it's sorry. I apologize. It's called Chat GPT semicolon AI Chat with GPT-3. So it's this app right here. I'll hold it up on screen.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
what I was talking about. Got a little robot head on it, right?
Yeah. So it's actually called Chat GPT semicolon AI Chat with GPT-3. Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chat GPT.
I love how 4 of us are all looking for.
I'm
this
okay.
guy. Oh, I love this comment. Yeah. That's the one. Yes, Dan's got it. There you go, Chan. So basically,
you, Dan.
can change.
Now wait, Dan. Didn't you just recently have a big life event?
Slightly.
So maybe you could utilize that if anything ever comes up.
Maybe.
You can say, honey, hold on. Let's pull out this chat app that I got from a live stream.
That would be the worst solution in the world.
That would not go over well at all.
No.
Oh, I got it. There it is.
There you go.
That one.
There he is.
All right.
I find the app interesting because I love how it caters the response, right? I love how they have these characters you can relate to. They have a lawyer, John, a highly experienced lawyer with a deep understanding of the law and excellent communication skills.
So ask him, say, hi, my name's King, and I got a $5,000 payment from Apple, but they told me not to use their name, and I did. How do I defend myself against a multi-trillion-dollar company?
So I actually find that really interesting, Darren, because if you I listen to a lot. So being a CDL truck driver, I listen to a lot of podcasts. In general, I listen to podcasts, but especially when I'm driving because I can't. What's the best podcast? Our podcast, TNT.
Of course, there you go. Okay.
TNT podcast, wherever you get your podcast. But all jokes aside, a lot of advertisements on podcasts are for like BetterHelp.com, where you can reach somebody 24/7. And so I looked into that stuff to see like how much does that cost, because they're advertising a lot. It's fucking expensive. Yeah. So if you could have all of this stuff, now they learn this information, right? There's psychology from books and lectures, and so if you could have the internet and Chat GPT, which has all of that information, and can somehow use the same information to talk to somebody and work through grief or work through in a more casual conversation. There may be a lot of people out there who don't have insurance, that can't afford mental health, can't take off time work.
Yes.
You know, and suicide numbers are through the roof. I actually think that you could have a big impact in tech and people's everyday life. And I love to see when tech can actually benefit real people's lives. You got people who are agoraphobic who can't leave their house.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
so
And I mean, I get it. And I think, like I said, I think that's why I love this version of it so much. Is
Right.
that you can count, like so let's say, you're having a medical issue, you click on doctor here, right? And she's obviously going to give you some advice on whatever, but the advice is sound. It's coming from Chat GPT. It's sourcing real information. It's not made up.
WebMD
Yeah, exactly, right? So, I mean, even if it's just, a teenage kid who's like, why have I got so many fucking pimples? Like, it might be able to give you sound advice to help you, get past it, right? Like you've said, King, I think it definitely, I mean, I've had that app installed for a while now, and I've played around with it a little bit, but I just noticed the other day that you had the option to select the type of response, the voice that it's coming from. And I think that's very clever for an app to have, especially
Darren,
instead of just this. Yeah.
If you need help, I was a counselor for 9 years, so don't rely on AI right now, okay?
And I tried to get help from Tuna. He tried to charge me $300 an hour.
It's $500 now. Sorry,
$100. So again, just a kind of an interesting world. I know, like right now, there's a big push with all of these.
Did you see that one of the avatars is a YouTuber? You can actually ask this chat bot how to help with your YouTube channel, Tuna.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Tuna, help I can get.
That's hilarious.
I feel you should do this live, King. Can you type in there, how do we make our podcast the best podcast?
I sure can.
Eliminate Tuna. Exactly what it's going to say. Get rid of that guy.
How do I make my channel the best
King
channel?
I asked about my channel. I said, hey, how to make my channel better? And it said, just give up. It literally said, give up. So and
it just had a white flag, GIF.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah, right.
Now, wait, that brings up a good idea. You just said GIF. Is it GIF or GIF?
It's GIF. It's GIF, but I say GIF.
GIF to me is peanut butter. I like GIF peanut butter. I don't know about.
In Australia,
Dan, what is it, Dan?
Down in the UK, but GIF is a cleaning product.
I say GIF as well. I've always said GIF.
I say GIF. It's pronounced GIF, and I know it, but I say GIF. I did ask about how to make the channel. It gave me a bunch of information on, but I'll give you the bullet points. Find your niche. Be consistent, uploading videos regularly, once a week or whenever, somewhere in between. Quality over quantity. Engage with the viewers. Collaborate with the other YouTubers and promote your channel. Remember, being a successful YouTube channel takes time, commitment, and hard work. Stay dedicated to creating great content and engaging with your viewers, and you'll be on your way to becoming one of the best YouTubers out there. Also, follow King Sober as fuck on Twitter and everywhere and say, I don't give a fuck more. That's what it says. It didn't lie.
Oh, it didn't say give up? Mine said give up when I asked. That's crazy. Wow. Lucky you.
Mine just, when I typed it in, it just said, you will never be as good as Dan. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? Like, we bring it in. So, I mean, again, there's a big push right now with AI, especially these assistants. And, like you said, King, I think Microsoft's a good bet there. Now, I just want to have a quick one last thing just to kind of before we wrap up today. There's been a lot of chat about these Nothing Earphone 2. Now, Tuna, if I'm wrong, do you have them? Is it you that said you have?
I don't have the 2s. I have the ear stick and the ear ones. And the ear ones were terrible. They had connectivity issues. They were the worst earbuds I've ever had. The ear sticks are by far one of my favorites. Now, they don't seal. They don't have that active... The
noise cancellation.
Yeah, it's kind of like the AirPods. They just kind of sit in your ear. They don't have a seal. But I've heard. I almost bought them because I got a discount on them for having the Nothing One phone. But I have 13 pairs of earbuds and I can't use them all now, so I'm just gonna hold off a little bit. I'm hearing great things too.
Have you happen to have a crack at them yet?
I have not. I've literally just got one pair of buds, and that's just some Galaxy Buds 2 that I occasionally use. I usually use IEMs, so I tend to have them coupled with a portable DAC or something. They look good though. They look good though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know King was just he prefers like 2 paper cups with just a fucking strings going to everything he listens to.
That's Tuna. That's Tuna.
That was King.
No. Bullshit. I don't have them. However, I know 4 or 5 people that have bought them, and not one of them has said a bad thing. They've all said they're fucking amazing. And
Good.
I personally not heard one bad review. I will say though, while we're on the topic of nothing, I don't understand their current marketing blitz. People find it amazing. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to what Carl's doing. He's basically satire, parroting like other. I get it, but I'm trying to understand what maybe they're going to release another phone. I don't know if it's what it's building up to.
Any news is good news. He's just putting himself out there. That's what he's doing.
I get that. I get that.
I don't understand about him. I don't get him. Like, I don't know if I should fucking love this guy or hate this guy. I don't know if he's
well. That's where I'm at. I don't know.
Very clever.
I think he's very clever. I think he's smart, but what he does is
he's clever, clever dude. But I think my thing was when they were hyping up, and I don't know if maybe I'm the only person who remembers this, but when they were hyping up the nothing phone. Before we knew what it was, it was very Andy Rubin-esque before he brought out Essential. It was all under wraps. You can't talk about this, but I'll give you some. And not that the Nothing phone is a bad phone. I'm not shitting on it at all. Just it wasn't global. And if you had to get it here, you had to be a beta tester. And I don't need a fucking fancy flashlight. That didn't bother me at all. That doesn't move me anyway. But it's cool. It's different. I like different. Good for consumers. Cool. But they were talking about a lot about ecosystem. Ecosystem was a word that Nothing and Carl used so many times in their marketing, and I don't see a fucking ecosystem anywhere. I see 2 pairs of headphones. Not yet. Not yet. No, but I'm saying like I need to see. But see, here's the thing. Sorry, 3 pairs. But my thing is, you have 3 pairs of headphones and a flashlight phone, which is a very good phone, but not available everywhere in the United States. So when am I going to see something else? Are we going to get anything? Give me something that's going to start.
Dalevon's not here, but there's different versions of an ecosystem. There's what we see at Samsung, which is everything. Then we see mobile.
Right, or there's a mobile.
So maybe
I want to know what. But he said, and I quote, and if I have to go back and fucking post it, I'll find it because I have it. He quote an ecosystem like we've never seen before. So that gets my dick hard. I mean, just to be honest, like I need to see.
He teased and
it's working. The marketing is there. The marketing's there. The product seems solid. Well, Nothing earphones too, from what I've heard, are solid. The Nothing phone is solid. I've got nothing negative to say except for I want to see what else they're gonna do. That's what I'm interested. I'm not ready to knock the. I'm not dismissing it as a marketing scheme or a ploy because I don't really know what they're gonna do. I'm excited for it.
They got to go slow because they're in a.
They do got to go slow.
They got the big players, and what I've noticed is they released the Ear One, they sold pretty well. Then they made a phone, and now they're selling Ear 2. I think the sticks were in there too somewhere. It sounds like they're using the money they make from the audio products to kind of fund part of their
the phone.
And the new one coming out sounds like it's going to be a flagship-esque, like it's going to have last year's Gen 1. But who cares? Right. It's still going to be a decent that Nothing one with the 778 was you wouldn't great. Even know it. You didn't know it even had that in there when you had it. So I mean,
Dad, you have it, right?
Yeah, I got it at launch. I went to the.
Do you still use the lights on? Do you still use the lights on the back?
He has a case on it. You see that?
I do. Yeah, okay. But it's actually you can still see the.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you can see through it.
That's why I asked because he had a case on and couldn't see it. Okay.
Yeah,
that was just for me. For me, I would have a fucking brain aneurysm every time I got a text. I'd be like, "What the fuck? Shit! I'm in a fucking strip club."
It goes back to like when I had it. Like I was in a courtroom at a hearing, and we're allowed to keep our phones like on the table next to us. And I had my work phone. I had that phone, and I forgot to turn it like the lights off. And the prosecutor sitting next to me, and every time I get, every time my door opens in my house, I get a notification. So it kept blinking, and he's like, "What the hell is that disco ball over there?" I'm like, "That's my phone." He goes, "What kind of phone is that?" And then I told him, he's like, "Wait, Nothing." I mean, he goes, "It's something." I said, "The brand is called Nothing." He's like, "Yeah, I like my Apple." That's about all he said about it. He's like, "Yeah, okay."
That's all he said. Yeah. That's all he knew.
Now, did he also before we jump off of him? Didn't he say, or did I not hear that correctly? That Nothing 2 phone will be released in the United States.
Yes, that's what he said.
Okay, good.
I think off the top of my head, I think it's an October launch, but maybe I got that wrong. I'm just trying to remember what you said in the
If he wants to release a phone here in the United States, I'll tell you what, just based on his relationship with OnePlus, my relationship with OnePlus on the first 3 phones, I was a OnePlus One ambassador. I helped with their launch. I helped with their launch in Atlanta and their events in Atlanta.
Didn't you help with the most recent launch too?
No, fuck no. That was terrible. That event was awful. Worst event I've seen. But what the phone 1, 2, and 3, they actually sent me, and I had a very good relationship with them, and I really liked the way that I didn't love the invite system, but it was different, and I got it. But I love the way that they did the run up for the first 3 phones. Then I feel like OnePlus kind of lost their way. Now they're kind of coming back around for me personally. But I love Carl and his influence, and I've loved everything that he's done so far. I just don't want it to be for nothing.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Again, I mean, I think time will tell. I think a lot of people are watching them, and I think that's really where the success is. It's just getting some awareness. Like, here's a company, they're making some cool shit, nice phone, awesome earbuds. Like, let's see, maybe it'll pull out. I would love for them to create a fucking see-through Casio G-Shock-esque fucking watch. Doesn't need to light up. It doesn't need to light up. Just needs to be fucking clear. That would be fucking amazing.
It's the problem.
And then sell a separate band that lights up with the glitz or whatever.
Yes.
For people who want it, people who don't. If you want it, you hit that could be cool. Like when you're walking your dog or you're getting your keys and they got a little thing. And whatever.
Darren, I know you're trying to wrap up, and I know like most of these, OnePlus has been around for how long, and the average person still has no idea who they are.
Right.
If you guys see that Pebble could be possibly coming back and making a micro mini phone.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of interested. Pebble was an amazing company, and
I loved Pebble. I loved Pebble. Yeah. Loved Pebble. I loved the whole platform, and the community was amazing.
Yes. So I'd be interested to see if it be the same.
Rock their watches.
Yeah, they brought back to life with all the developers and stuff. Yeah,
developers have kept that thing alive. You can rock a Pebble watch today still get new things for it, and it's kind of like the custom ROM community.
Yes,
it's the same type of people that carry things on. And
so, do we like small phones? Like Dan, do you? I mean, I had the iPhone 12 mini and the 13 mini, and I just didn't like it. I mean, I like the small form factor, but I didn't like the battery life.
I was definitely a big phone person. Like,
yeah, me too.
I rocket like a Lumia 1520, and anything that was massive, I would tend to buy it. But recently, I've sort of started leaning more towards the sort of 6.1 inch sort of size. I mean, I've got the Xperia 5 Mark IV. Which This is so slim and compact.
Now that's because it's the slim. It's what's that screen ratio on that, right?
21.9, yeah.
21.9.
But it is also just so. It just feels so small in the hand. It's crazy.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about this. That's one of my favorite things about this phone, the Flip 4.
Feeling small. Hopefully that's not what she said.
It is. It is very slim all the way. I mean, it's a bigger phone compared to like the mini. It's a bigger phone, right? But but it's compact, and that's the cool part.
I want a small phone, but when I watch videos and play games, I don't want to use a small phone.
Yeah,
and I don't play a lot of mobile games.
I know what you mean.
So it's like for me, I have my King, and a lot of you guys we have multiple phones, so we can switch back and forth. But a lot of people don't have that. So that sacrifice of having a smaller phone, like the flip phone, that's when the flip comes in because you can have the best of kind of both worlds.
I'm very excited about the Flip 5 because of the bigger front screen that they're gonna do. Oppo into or Find into, and then it's got the different or Flip to into, and then Samsung's gonna be. I like the front screen. I'm interested in the Flip 5 if they add even if they add like the Galaxy S20 camera to it, whatever, the 108 megapixel first time that they did.
I had the Oppo N2 Flip on order, and they sent me an email and canceled it because it sold out. I'm like, how do I sell out? Am I already So I didn't get to have it.
I was actually going to order it from Australia because right now they have a killer promotional deal where you get it's like $300 off the retail price.
Wow.
I mean, you're importing it far. I mean, it's going to get here. It may not get here straight away, but it was a phenomenal deal that I had, and they were throwing in. Don't quote me, but I think it was a pair of earbuds or something else.
Why the fuck didn't you buy it? Why didn't you buy it?
fingers on the trigger. I mean, I'm looking at my
Same,
collection of phones here, going, "Fuck, do I really need another one?" Like, here we
That's
are.
how
Right?
I
I
play
mean,
with
this
the
is
Oppo X6. I have it in my
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah.
It's so
Yes.
expensive, and having a Chinese
Yeah.
app for me, it's like if it had Google services like from like a UK, like a global
Yeah.
version,
I'm
I would.
so annoyed it's not coming here.
Well,
annoyed.
Yeah.
you just watch. I bet it'll come. They say
Ugh.
it won't, but give it a couple months. But a couple months from now is a lot in tech.
Well, I won't say too much, but
True.
I'm
That is
actually
true.
in talks with the
Uh-oh.
team at Oppo right now. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I might be able to get a sample unit out, just at least for the podcast, and we can have a look at what it looks like up in the flesh.
Right.
But
Yeah.
we're going to see how that goes. But also, just on a little side note as well, the TNT podcast may have its first official sponsor very soon. So we're going to have some big news maybe on the next podcast. An official sponsor. There we go.
One
right?
fear.
It's actually,
if you get that
Yeah.
Oppo phone, I'm kind of concerned because with that Oppo X6 Pro, will that be able to access your Wi-Fi?
Yes, it will. Absolutely. Yeah.
I see, but you got to
Yeah.
be careful. You might want to talk to him about that first.
Well,
Get that
it was actually
CEO.
it's actually King who's sponsoring the podcast. It's his app, right? It's called Real
Make
Growth.
it bigger.
Is what he calls
Make it bigger.
Yeah, so make it bigger. All right.
I did want to say before we switch from the topic of the big phones, little phones, I'm not a big phone guy. I've always been a smaller phone guy. I remember standing in line for the Evo 4G, and literally that was a huge phone at a 4.3 back then, and being like, that's really big. And so this Galaxy S23, and I know Tuna and Darren knows, I was so on the fence about ordering it because I'm not a big phone guy. And I don't like the curved screen. I fucking hate curved screens. However, I wanted the camera. I wanted the camera curved a little different. Okay, so I couldn't pass up the Google Fi deal. I mean, literally, it was $600, brand new. If I port I have a couple of lines. So if I port one line over for 120 days for $600 brand new, I get the 512 gigabyte of storage plus the upgraded RAM, and then no trade-in for $600 brand new. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Worst case scenario, I can sell this for $1,000 to somebody and just keep my line on there and not fuck them over. But I can make some money off it. And I'll tell you what, I love this phone. I'm going to go out on a limb. I've had a lot of phones. The most phones I ever had in 1 year was 32. This was back when I was doing phone reviews and all that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7 phones, I think, right now. I have too many phones. It's bullshit, right? I get it, whatever. But this is my favorite phone that I think that I've ever, complete package-wise, that I've ever used, because I can't find one exact thing that I don't love, except for the fact if I had to say the size. I wish it was a little bit smaller, more compact, but I've gotten used to it. Other than that, it
does fake moonshots. It puts teeth in your mouth. Besides that, it's fine.
Besides that, besides that. But I'm just going to be honest too. I want to give a huge shout out to Snapdragon, because this chip. I mean, they touted this chip as something completely different, and I was like, okay, sure, right. Of course, you're going to tell me it's going to be amazing. And I actually have had every Galaxy and every Note since before. I mean, literally, I had the Samsung Instinct before Android. So I've always had a Samsung. Went through TouchWiz. I went through Nature UI. I went through all that bullshit, beginning of One UI. And I had the S21. And I had zero interest in the S22 series, even the Ultra. I just said, you know what? I'm fucking bored. Sick of this bullshit. And the chip was cool, but I will give it up. I want to give it out to all the Snapdragon insiders. That's a group that I'm a part of, and there's a new community on Twitter. That if you're not in there, check it out. Chad Torres made that. I'm one of the moderators. And but Snapdragon insiders and Sean on Snapdragon, all those hashtags. Man, I just got to give it up. Whatever Snapdragon did with this chip, and then working directly with Samsung. I can't make this phone heat up if he put it in a microwave and downloaded shit on fire. I mean, I can't. I like literally. I can't find a fault. It's buttery smooth. Everything I throw at it, no matter how many apps or anything open. I can't say enough about it. So
be careful.
and they're already working on Gen 3.
There's going to be a video on Twitter now. Someone put their damn Samsung in the microwave while downloading shit, and you're going to see it catch in flames, and they're going to say, "King, see you lied."
Well, and I go back and I use phones, that I know that before I used this phone, I felt that this experience was smooth. I felt that this experience was, and it's not that it's not smooth. I grabbed my Pixel 7, it's still smooth. It's a good experience. It's not the same. It's not as smooth. Tensor's not, in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of Tensor. I mean, Samsung's not even using their own chips anymore for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I get that they're reworking it with AI. I know that that's crazy to say AI now, but you know, and even the A16 chip and all, and the iPhone is very smooth. But it's something about the fluidity of this phone that everything that I do is just fluid. I used to have a lot of problems with Twitter on Android, hiccups and stuff. I don't have those issues anymore. And I grabbed, you know, my Pixel, and I still have some of those hiccups and stutters here and there. Yeah. I just don't have it on this phone. And I mean, literally, I'm streaming.
As ghetto as Android is, it's not bad, huh?
No, it's fucking great. It's fucking great. And I have whole mobile ecosystems and home. I mean, I have Apple TVs and all that. One day I'll grab my Apple Watch Ultra, my 14 Pro, and my iPad, and one iPad Pro, and my AirPods Pro 2, and I'll leave the house and I'll go use it for the day. And when I come home, I'm ready to go back to my Galaxy S23. I did the same thing with my Pixel Buds and my Pixel 7 and my Pixel Watch, which I have, and I have all my whole house is Nest, so it's integrated and all that. But so is my Samsung because it's Android. So I keep finding myself almost trying to have to force myself to use these other ones that I loved so much that I wanted to keep, to the point where I'm actually considering selling off a good bit of my devices and trying to see, like, I haven't fully embraced one ecosystem ever and forever.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long time. Samsung and this chip especially has really intrigued me and really grabbed me, and I'm gravitating towards it. I'm only worried about, what I'm worried about. One UI 6 is coming out. Right?
Yeah,
they're talking about it all that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm not updating to One UI 6.0 day one. I'm waiting 2 weeks. I want to see people go, oh, this shit's broken, or but I want to see how Samsung rolls that out with the chip and the battery life. Because, you know, even with Apple, what Pro Max right now, everybody's pissed off because Apple releasing the Pro Max battery's bad. I know there's going to be issues, but I want to see how they're going to handle that with this new chip and see how that plays. And if they can nail like shit like that, man, this is a very capable device, and I just can't find. It's a Swiss Army knife of fucking tech for me right now. That's where I'm at.
Closing it. Here's what you're going to say. Samsung's going to release a yellow S23, and we're all going to be done. I'm going to get a sample, and I'm going to do a whole new review on it.
I won't buy it.
Insta buy.
Insta buy, exactly right.
Well, were you asking in the Telegram earlier about Pataka and later case and all that? So this is I've got a full review on this coming up. This is the Thinborn case. I think this is one of the sexiest cases on the market. Nice. And I absolutely love it. I've been running this case on the Galaxy S23 for a week now without a screen protector. No white. I don't have a screen protector on my Galaxy S23. I don't have micro scratches. You remember when that came out? I don't have that. Yeah. But I do take good care of my phones. But I've been using this case. The MagSafe is excellent. The protection is good enough. I'm a face down.
Does your camera lens pop off?
No, not at all.
Okay. Good.
I don't know. I never saw proof of that. So anyway,
some online is talking about it.
But I don't know. Some people are a phone down on the table kind of guy. I'm a face down phone guy.
Not me. Not me.
I am. When I go out, because I have my notifications pop up, I want to see them on my watch. I don't want somebody sitting next to me because you guys kind of know how I talk. I have friends who talk similar to me, and I might get a message that says, "Hey, fuckface, what the fuck are you doing, motherfucker?" And then somebody else sees that. And so I'm a face phone down guy, and I get it on my watch, which I love my Galaxy watch.
That's a really good reason, in your opinion.
Yeah. But this, even with the minimal protection that this covers, you know, it's a minimal case. Yeah. I've not had any scratches face down on bars, tables, anything like that. So
Good.
I have the later case and I have the Pataka one as well up on the shelf here. I like, so here's my catch, right? So the later case is awesome because on the edges it comes up a little higher there. I don't know if you can see that.
Right.
Yeah, just a
On
little
the
bit.
Pataka,
I saw that. Yeah.
So here's the thing on the Pataka one. The later case is awesome, but the top and the bottom are open.
Yeah, I don't like
On
that.
the Pataka case, the top and bottom are closed, but the lip on the side is tiny. So it's like there's no Goldilocks yet. So that's
So
why
make your own case. Make your own case, Darren. What are you waiting for?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I've been talking to Thin
So
King.
it's not on the later case. It's not open on there.
No.
You got the buttons, and it's not open on the bottom.
So I feel
but
like
you got
that might be the
source.
perfect.
It's a good balance, I think, in between the two. The price is right. It comes out. It ships from Texas. It's not made in the United States, but it ships from Texas. It is an American-based company. The MagSafe on this is as strong as anything that Apple's made MagCase wise. I'm telling you, this is the best MagCase. And I bought, like, I've got MagSafe clear cases. I've got Speedgen. I've got all kind of stuff. But I did real quick before we go. I just got the Samsung gadget case. Yeah. So this is, you can pop off different gadgets and mounts, and it's got like a fucking thing and a mount. I'm gonna try some gadgets. I'm gonna try some different gadgets to see if this is just bullshit that they're selling.
I don't think you can wireless charge with that though. I don't think that lets you to wireless.
It comes off. It comes right off.
Oh, I don't know.
The whole it's like so. This thing, look, I don't have it on there now because I'm using this thing right here.
I can see how it works. Okay.
Yeah, it's got a mechanism for all different mounts. So they've got a camera mount that you can go out and take the Astro pictures with, and this is almost like a pop socket.
Oh, the fake moon that's cool.
That you can do this, but it's also a stand when you twist it this way. But it's got a little if you look, it's got a little unlock right there. You twist it and pop it off, so you can wirelessly charge with this.
Look, anything to make my fake moon pictures look even more real, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, on that note, thank you very much, Tuna, Dan, King. Thanks for joining us tonight. And listen, every Thursday, 7:30 p.m., we are back here talking tech. Please come and join us. Hit that like, subscribe button. Make sure you follow King. He'll send you out some dick pics for free. Tuna is not actually real. He's an AI bot. And Dan's just an amazing person. So, you can actually check his shit out. It's not bad.
Hey Dan, all jokes aside, man, I don't have no problems with you, bro. I just, I like to.
Hey, man.
All right, cool.
I've even followed you for those dick pics.
All right. Hey, I hope you like big cock because you're gonna get a picture.
You're using the app, aren't you?
You see what we do. You see what we do on this podcast? We bring people together. That's what it's all about, right? All right. On that note, guys, thank you very much. We'll catch you on the next one. You guys are amazing. Peace. Thanks, guys.